In the Shadow of the Ivory Tower, How Universities Are Plundering Our Cities by Davarian Baldwin is a searing critique of the role of American universities in contemporary urban life. The book sheds light on the ways in which higher education institutions wield power and influence over the cities in which they reside, often leading to gentrification, privatization, and the commodification of knowledge. Through case studies, historical analysis, and personal narratives, Baldwin paints a picture of a landscape where universities not only educate, but also dominate. The book is divided into several sections that detail different aspects of the relationship between universities and urban communities. One of the central themes is the concept of the EDs and MEDs complex, which refers to the interdependence of educational and medical institutions in shaping urban policy and development. Baldwin argues that universities have become major players in real estate development, often displacing vulnerable communities in the process. Baldwin examines the history of urban universities and how their relationships with their surrounding neighborhoods have evolved. He notes that universities have long been regarded as beacons of intellectual and cultural capital, and the idea of the ivory tower traditionally symbolizes their detachment from the problems of the everyday world. However, Baldwin contends that this separation is a myth, and that universities have always been deeply entwined with the socioeconomic and political realities of their host cities. In one of the book's most compelling sections, Baldwin discusses the ways in which universities have been able to leverage their status as non-profit institutions to amass considerable financial resources. He explains how universities use their tax-exempt status to acquire land and property, often displacing long-time residents in the process. This practice contributes to rising property values and the gentrification of neighborhoods, leaving the communities that once surrounded these institutions struggling to survive. Another key focus of the book is the privatization of public goods and resources. Baldwin reveals how universities often enter into public-private partnerships that give them significant control over local resources, such as parks, transportation infrastructure, and even public schools. These partnerships can lead to the commercialization of public spaces and the redirection of public funds to benefit the university rather than the broader community. Baldwin also addresses the ways in which universities exploit the labor of their employees and students. He highlights the growing trend of adjunctification, where universities rely on low-paid, temporary adjunct faculty to teach a significant portion of their courses. This reliance on precarious labor allows universities to cut costs while still maintaining the appearance of a high-quality education. The book also discusses the exploitation of student labor through unpaid internships, which disproportionately affects students from lower-income backgrounds who cannot afford to work for free. Furthermore, In the Shadow of the Ivory Tower delves into the relationship between universities and local law enforcement. Baldwin documents instances in which university police forces have been used to suppress dissent and maintain control over surrounding neighborhoods. He also raises concerns about the potential for racial profiling and the criminalization of marginalized communities in the vicinity of these institutions. Baldwin argues that the consequences of these practices extend beyond the immediate communities impacted by university expansion. The commercialization of research and knowledge, he posits, has led to a shift in the priorities of academic institutions. Rather than focusing on the production of knowledge for the public good, universities are increasingly driven by profit motives and corporate partnerships. This shift undermines the original mission of higher education as a force for social change and enlightenment. To counteract these negative trends, Baldwin calls for a reimagining of the role of universities in society. He envisions a model where universities act as true partners with the communities they inhabit, fostering genuine collaboration and mutual benefit. This model would require a reevaluation of university priorities, as well as a commitment to social justice and equity. Baldwin offers a trenchant analysis of the neoliberal turn in American higher education and its deleterious impact on urban communities. This work resonates with the critical insights offered by Priyamvada Gopal, who has similarly addressed the neoliberal transformation of universities, particularly in the United Kingdom. Both Baldwin and Gopal contend that the neoliberal shift in higher education institutions has resulted in an erosion of their traditional missions in favor of market-driven objectives.